Well, hello again. It is Collin Campbell with Business on Tap. This podcast is all about meeting marketing people, meeting business people, and just getting exposed to new ideas. Today, we have Crystal Ortiz, a wonderful SEO specialist here in Fort Wayne. It's great to meet you. Well, I mean, we've met before, but it's great to, be with you here.
Yeah, me too. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. And it is Business on Tap, and I feel like I should explain that a little bit better because in the last podcast, we did not explain it at all. The goal is always to have some sort of beverage on tap right here, so that way we can enjoy it and have something that facilitates us through the conversation. Today, we got some coffee from Conjure Coffee here in Union Street Market, so thank you guys.
I love coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all about it.
All about it.
And you chose coffee over beer, which just more of a coffee girl than a beer girl?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, I love beer, especially good craft beer.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just was like, coffee is, if I can pick anything, it's definitely going to be a coffee.
Okay. So Crystal Ortiz, SEO specialist. Kind of tell me about you. Give me the elevator pitch on your business right now, as it stands.
Pitch. Okay. Well, my name's Crystal Ortiz. I am the founder of Social Hart. It is an SEO and AI search consulting business. And essentially I work with business owners, brands, and companies to help increase their visibility online, increase their traffic and their revenue from, traditional search. So for example, Google, and then new emerging searches like ChatGPT.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's a cool and new, well, SEO's been around for a while now, but no, AI SEO is this new concept and it's really hitting everywhere it seems.
Yeah. So I've been in digital marketing. It'll be 10 years come January. So I've been doing digital marketing for a while. And I just feel like AI search is a natural evolution. I feel like it's gone through many different natural evolutions since I've started. And this just happens to be one that right now it has a lot of people are talking about it and a lot of people are interested in it, from an experimental perspective and from a business strategy, practical, like the world is changing and we have to get on board kind of thing. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, but before we get into that, the techie side of things too much,
sure.
Tell me about you. Like, how did you get started in business? What was your kind of background?
Yeah. So, about me. Where do you start talking about yourself?
I was born in.
So I think from a career perspective, I started out, I used to work in a surf shop, which is very, I'm not a surfer.
Where are you from then?
I'm from Florida.
Okay.
Which we have a pretty big, surf and skate culture in certain areas. And I worked in a surf shop and I loved it. I loved working at the surf shop, skate shop. It was really fun. And so I had no idea social media was a job or a career. But I had started working on our social media accounts as part of my job. And I just built a portfolio that I didn't realize I was building. And then when I realized people do this for a job, this is potentially a career that's emerging, or some places it wasn't emerging, but for many places it was still emerging. So I was like, I'm gonna do that. So then I just started working for companies. I worked on a sort of in-house type-ish company in footwear. So I worked in footwear. I got to work with some really cool footwear brands. And then I worked in agencies for a while. I did some in-house SEO work. I taught at a couple of different universities as an adjunct instructor for a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah, that was really cool. And then I had my first child, and I was like, I kind of wanted to I had always really been entrepreneurial, and I wanted to do something that was like, it fit me. So it just seemed like the right time for me to embark on that. And so, so I did that. And so now I've been helping clients and helping different brands and working on their digital marketing. And a lot of the SEO work that I've done has kind of been multi-channel, because SEO is one of those channels that it both relies on other channels and other channels rely on it. So it's a very collaborative kind of specialization, SEO, because you're working with developers, you're working with content creators, you're working with social media teams. So it's like sort of in this little pocket, which is really fun.
So I guess how long have you been in this community, first off? Like when did you move to Fort Wayne area?
In Fort Wayne, I think I've been here 6 years.
Okay. And is that when you started the business up?
Yeah, it was like right after. It was when I think COVID was happening. So it was like a
Same.
COVID time. Yeah.
Like, why is COVID the time to start a business?
It was an interesting time, like it was just so.
Well, you're by yourself in your house, just stewing with all these crazy thoughts, and
yeah, we had so much change at that time, because my husband and I had just moved here, and all of a sudden this crazy thing is happening, and I'm having a child, and it was like, oh my God, it was so much. So yeah, it was like, let me just add on a whole new business while I'm at it. So I was like, so there's a lot that goes into, any business owner knows, like there's a lot that goes into it that you just don't know until you start doing it. And then after you've done it, you're like, oh yeah, like that wasn't so bad. But meanwhile, the whole time you were like, you were really
on pins and needles,
through it. Yeah.
Getting through your first project mistake, or,
Yeah, trying to figure out like paperwork, anything.
Sales, client communication,
Yeah, and kind of figuring out like what it is that you want and you don't want in a business, So
how so? Like the types of work that you want to do?
The types of work you want to do, and how people perceive you, mm-hmm. and how, really kind of figuring out how you can put your expertise in a way that makes sense to the market. It's like any business, Like finding that product market fit is like, how are we actually, for me, it was more like, how am I actually creating value, mm-hmm. to people and to business owners, So that was like trying to figure all of that out. That was a lot.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. But yeah, it's a little bit like, especially when you're trying to do it on your own, like I don't have a business partner. It's my business. So trying to make those decisions by myself when, I'm a very collaborative person. Like I want to talk to people and I want to like problem solve together, and I'm a verbal processor. So I had an old boss who I'm still really close with, who we always joke about how I used to just walk into her office and she wouldn't even listen to me. She would just let me talk, because she knew by the end of me talking, I'd be like, all right, I got to figure it out. So like as a solo, business owner, when you don't have that, like you don't have someone to kind of, problem solve every single day at every single minute, mm-hmm. when you're a verbal processor, it can be a little bit like it's an adjustment, mm-hmm. Like how do you still problem solve and make big decisions on your own? So
makes sense.
It's a little juggling, learning through doing.
Trial by error, by mistake.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, before we get into the AI piece, let's talk about like just regular SEO for a second.
Okay.
And this is kind of a left field. I didn't communicate this with you or anything.
Okay.
But how has SEO changed in the past? Because you've been doing this for what, you said 6 years now?
So I've been doing digital marketing.
This business for 6 years.
Yeah, this business for 6 years. I've been in digital marketing for 10 years. And I started doing SEO pretty much.
From the start?
Yeah, from the start. So about 10 years, but like, yeah.
So how much has it changed since? Because I know some of the markers that you're looking at, some of the big technical details that contribute to SEO have changed over time. So what did you focus on then, and what's kind of a current viewpoint on SEO as far as what you're looking for?
Yeah, I mean, it's changed a lot, and it's also stayed the same in a lot of ways. So it's changed a lot, and it's stayed the same in a lot of ways, and it all comes down to really how search works, how people are finding information, consumer behavior, search behavior, and then having the solutions in place to resolve that for them. So, it's typically website heavy, so it's all about, your website. And, 10 years ago, it was like pretty standard keywords, your header structure, your internal links, and all of those things are still really, really important. Sorry.
Are you okay there?
Yeah, I got a little coughity cough.
Cut that, Jamie.
Sorry, Jamie.
No, that was a joke from last time. The assistant on the Joe Rogan podcast is Jamie, and he just calls. Yeah. So she's the new Jamie.
Sorry, Jamie. Not really, Jamie. So a lot of it's, it used to be more like keywords, header structure, internal links, and it's still a lot of that same things at the tactical level, but it's always been about people and what they need, what they want, So
creating natural content, is that kind of what you're talking about? Like content that people actually want to read?
Yeah, I'm talking about like not doing things for the sake of doing them, and doing them because you genuinely have a business that's trying to either solve a problem or have a service or sell something for some reason. It doesn't always have to be helpful. I mean, I think about like socks, and like, there are certain needs for socks, but like there are some companies that, for example, like it's just a fun sock. It's just pretty. It just makes you feel good, like they're cute. But at the same time, it's genuine. We're not just optimizing a website to optimize it or to be found by people. I think that's definitely important, and it's, what I need to do, but also it's about connecting
that's like
with
the
your
methodology,
customer.
And then this is the purpose behind it.
Yeah. So it's always about connecting with your customer. So like 10 years ago, if you were, just cloaking, you were hiding keywords behind white text, and you were hiding keywords in copy. I mean, Google made changes so that was seen as spam, and then you were de-indexed for stuff like that. You had a manual penalty for it, because it's just not helpful. It's not with good intention to a user. And so the same thing is happening today, is like we have changes, and people, try to do something for the sake of SEO, for better, term. Mm-hmm. And it's just not what SEO is about. SEO is about helping people find the thing that they need. If you're a local business, you're a repair company or something like that, like you're genuinely trying to be found on Google or wherever, to help people with their repairs. And that's it. You're not like going through and you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing.
Makes sense.
SEO. So that's how it's kind of stayed the same and different at the same time. Now it just looks different. Like spam looks different now than it did then. So.
Well, and I want to talk about that. So then, okay, if that was the past, so now today, like and this is, clickbait for the next reel that we do.
Right.
Like if you had to do like 3 indicators that the people need to worry about, what would be the things that you need to optimize for the best SEO? Like what are you looking at first, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
What am I looking at first? Well, it's just, I hate being a typical SEO that says it depends. It really does. So I'll try not to say it depends. I would say, content on a site that is irrelevant or deceptive, that's definitely not what you want. You want to always have content that's genuine, it's accurate, your product does what it says it does. It's the dimensions that it says it is. Your return policy is what your actual return policy is. All of these little things that...
I mean, it sounds like common sense to my ears, but like as an SEO specialist, you're looking at legitimacy first.
Well, like let's say for reviews, for example, reviews can, in certain circumstances, like in e-commerce, can help you improve your visibility online. So what you don't want to do is you don't want to just put fake reviews on your listings pages. That's deceptive, So you want to put systems in place where it's actual reviews for the actual product, and then, mark those up appropriately with, technical SEO, and then have that get picked up and help you with your visibility in Google. That's very different than just putting content on the page that, so-and-so said this was great. There is no so-and-so, like that would be a deceptive practice.
And are there checks on Google for deceptive?
Their systems are very complex, so I don't know exactly, like I can't speak to the exact data that they use to help determine that, but they definitely have systems in place. So they have automatic detection, and then they also have manual actions where real people look at websites and they will put penalties on websites.
Makes sense.
So there are definitely checks and balances that can impact whether or not you're seen as spam. And it's hard to get off a spam list in certain circumstances. Yeah, so like you want to continue to do to do right by consumers. Building that consumer trust is really, really important. Mm-hmm. So,
what would you say are some big indicators of a website going to end up on spam? And then, what can vice versa on the opposite side of that? What could a website do well to stay off spam?
Yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about. Like, I wouldn't go into it thinking like you're gonna spam something and something horrible is gonna go wrong. I wouldn't really fear that or like let that be a super concern right out of the gate. So I think it's easier to answer like what can you do really well, which is, in my opinion, it's really truly following standard SEO practices and doing it in a way that follows recommended guidelines from Google and then from whoever you're working with for SEO. And I would say from like a content perspective, just making sure that the content is accurate, it's well written, it's got expertise in it. There's no deceptive practices going on. And just making sure that if you're doing something with SEO, you're doing it with the intent to help people find a solution or help them find a group of pages that's going to help solve their problem or answer their questions. And that's really important. That's really going to be the thing that like is going to determine whether or not what you're doing is what you should or shouldn't be doing.
No, it makes sense. It makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that got me thinking. So we can start talking about AI now. AI is a hugely valuable tool, and it's a part of your business now. So, like, love AI. Is it considered deceptive to use AI to generate content? And a lot of people use it to generate SEO-friendly content, or what they think would be SEO-friendly. Does Google like AI-driven content? Does it not like AI-driven content? What's your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I think we're still in the learning phase of what Google is going to find to be acceptable or not acceptable.
So too early to tell?
Yes and no. Like, Google uses AI. So, I mean, that's what their AI overviews is. They're using AI to give you an answer generated from search results. So we can't, I mean, as far as I know, AI is not like bad for your website. Using AI content isn't necessarily bad, but I think there's probably somewhere, there's a threshold somewhere where, it's kind of we're in a testing phase of like, some websites are testing so far in one direction where everything is AI generated. Time will tell whether or not that's going to be a long-term solution. From my experience, I would say that it's probably not a long-term solution. Search engines really favor information that is helpful, but also information that is new and updated and fresh. And there's a lot of people behind really great content, actual human beings behind really great content. So I think just from working on so many websites and working with different people, working with AI tools, I just think that going a mostly human route is probably going to be the best long-term strategy. It's going to give you the best output. It's going to be the best, most helpful. It's going to provide context, right? Like if you think about search and how it's changing, a lot of people are using social media right now. And why are they using social media? They're using it because they can find someone who they develop a trust for that then provides them with some sort of either information or, like I think about my own search journeys and how I buy things, how I learn new information. And it's always people that I trust for whatever reason, right? Like someone who's going to tell me like this product, I did not like it. Here's why I didn't like it. This is the one I do like. I just bought this of my own. You're more likely to be like, oh, they didn't get that sponsored. That wasn't a fake whatever. They actually really like this product that they're selling. You have to think about website trust the same way. It's like, if it's very obviously AI, are you gonna like that when you go to it for a certain reason? Like if you're looking for financial advice or healthcare advice, are you gonna want something that is completely 100% AI driven? Probably not. You're probably gonna want something that, it's a certain threshold, it's okay, because we're all sort of still getting used to AI, right? It's like, oh, okay, a certain threshold is okay, but you want to see that someone reviewed that content before it was published, that they're updating it on a regular basis, So, but you know what? Different consumers have different ideas of what is trustworthy and what is not, So some people might say, oh, this is the best of the best because I looked it up and this is what it told me. And then they have that blind trust that this is the best of the best. And some people will be like, well, that's a sponsored post, so they're making money off of it. So there's no way it could be true. Where the truth is probably somewhere more in the middle, right? Is like, yes, they're monetizing it, but at the same time, at some point there were teams that was their job to go out and find really good products and recommend them. I think about lots of YouTubers who like they legitimately go through their products and they make recommendations, and that's why people trust them, because they have a reputation for giving a good 360 review on something. So websites are the same way, and SEO works the same way. It's like the more trust that you develop with a person, because at the end of the day, like the people who are looking at your website, they're people. That's a person looking at your website. So the more trust you can develop with them, not just on your website, but like across all channels, the better chance you are going to have with seeing if you guys are a match in terms of like client, provider, e-commerce store, customer, like those different relationships. And it takes time sometimes it doesn't. But in terms of Google, looking at your website and seeing whether or not something is trustworthy, it all comes down to are you being trustworthy, really? You know, are you putting content, AI content that's out there, and you just slapped it on the website and didn't really look at it any further than that? I mean, yeah, you can probably do that, but eventually you probably want to read it and make sure it's right and it's accurate and it's going to connect with your customer.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So let's talk about AI as it pertains to what you do specifically. So like
Sure.
AI, all right, not AI driven SEO, SEO for the purpose of AI search. If that's the right way to phrase that.
I'm trying to, like wrap my mind, because again, it's such a new concept. I mean, I've been using AI in my search strategies for a couple of years now, because it was in beta for a while. So I was reviewing beta searches at the time too. So it's been a while, but how we talk about it is still emerging. So yes, sorry, go ahead.
No, I love it. I love it. But no, so just like, so we talked a little bit about SEO back in them olden days. We talked about
them olden days of 10 years ago.
Exactly. A long time ago in the tech world.
Olden days.
SEO now, and then now we're talking about AI SEO. So what are the pillars of AI SEO? What are they different than regular SEO? Are they the same? What is AI looking for?
Yeah. So I think we're shifting from search engines and expanding into answer engines. So there's kind of a lot going on at the same time, and it's really about thinking about, how do people search now? How are they changing? How is it changing? And then what does that potentially look like in the future? And so what do we need to have in place in order to still capture search that's happening today, but also plan for a new technology that's still emerging? So right now, the way people have been searching is very query based. So it's like, you know, dog groomer near me. That's the query. And now it's like, you know, what are the best tools to groom my dog at home? And it's a Labrador Retriever. Do I need special tools? You know, it's like it's a more drawn out, you know, prompt.
It's a very specific prompt for a very specific answer.
Right. And then that machine is learning over time. So it's learning about the searcher. They probably, the machine might know what kind of dog they already have, how old it is, that it has a condition at that point. You know what I mean? So like, it might know that it's a old dog that needs maybe they need a sound machine on or something, you know?
Through previous search results. Is that what you're...
Previous, searches. Yeah. So...
I hope not through the mystery of listening or something weird, but...
Well, who knows?
Okay.
So it's kind of thinking like, you're sort of thinking about your website in terms of like, okay, what are people going to search for? And then what are they going to do after that? And so it's about thinking, does my website answer the original intent of that searcher? So do I have my grooming tools on here? And also, am I considering what that person wants to do now? They want to book an appointment with us, or, you know, they want to understand long-term maintenance care. Maybe they want to, maybe we need to just create more brand experiences for them in person that is enticing them to come in, or, you know, it's thinking about a bigger picture instead of this is the search that we're capturing demand for. And so it's also thinking about all the ways people are changing their search behavior. So I just gave you the example of using social media to kind of vet products, reviews, and figure stuff like that out. And that's happening right now. So we're not just seeing people rely on Google, we're also seeing them rely on a bunch of things. So I would say that probably the things that you really want to focus on right now for AI search is your citations and your entities. So like if you are a local business, you probably want to be on local listings. So you want to have a Google listing, you want to have a Yelp listing, you want to have different citations of places that mention you, that provide context of what you do. That's going to be really important. You also want really good content, just like really good foundational SEO on your website. These tools aren't going to pick up nothing from your website. So you have to have something on there that explains very clearly what you do. You'd be surprised how many websites, like you go on them, they don't have the business location on them, or they don't have clearly stated, like, what is this? It's a real estate, company. It's a whatever it is.
Very broad definitions, broad terms.
Yes, we're a pediatric office or something like that. Like just very, very clear content. And then looking at your technical SEO as well. So making sure that basically all the technical stuff is good. So, for example, it might be like your indexing, it might be your schema markup.
I've heard schema markup thrown around a lot for AI.
Yeah, like technically things, like you could Google them or whatever.
No, don't give away the secret sauce. Though.
Well, sorry. I think like a standard, like a business owner might not really know these kind of technical terms. But basically, like, is your website, is it technically sound? Like, can people find it?
Yeah.
Is the question. And you'd be surprised that, like, sometimes it's just not findable for whatever reason, and sometimes it's because of a technical error that you didn't even know you did on your website. So it just kind of, basically citations, content, technical SEO in basic, foundational SEO stuff right now. And then really, if you want to be found in AI search, you kind of have to put together a strategy and then work towards that. There are businesses that just might naturally happen because they're doing other things, and so they're getting picked up. Some businesses, it's not going to work like that, and they have to be intentional about it.
So, and this is kind of a gimme question, like, just a broad topic, but who is this affecting? Like, is it every industry? Like, and then who's really diving into this first? Like, as far as your customer base,
Sorry.
What industries are really looking at this now?
Not everybody is concerned about it right now. I'm looking at it a lot because it's how my job is changing. Like
It's the future for your job.
Right. It's the future for my industry as far as we can see right now. So, it's top of mind because we know that these kinds of things take time. It's not the same. It's not like we're putting money into it and then we're getting, clicks to an advertisement and then that traffic is coming back to the site. These kinds of things, they take some time sometimes, depending on the business that you have. So for me, it's really about getting ahead of that change. That's not always that's not the case for every business or business owner, especially if you're not currently already focused on SEO and your business doesn't operate just on SEO, then maybe you're not really focusing on it. But there are certain, I don't know if it's super industry specific, but I've seen, some IT tech, some data around how that is pretty prominent in AI. But it's not across every industry, but we do have to think about it, right? Because we think about financial or healthcare, for example, and we think about how even Google is, generating responses and then citing those responses and thinking, is this accurate? Is this trustworthy? And so that's what we have to think about too when it comes to any AI search solution is like, where did this information come from? And can we attribute it somewhere qualified? So even if it's not super top of mind for different industries right now, as time goes on, we'll see if it becomes more of a question.
It sounds to me like if you have a website in place that's existing already, maybe it's not the first priority for SEO.
Right.
But any new website builds might be something you want to throw in and consider.
Yeah, I think both are true. Like both are. It just kind of depends where you're at. You know, sometimes when you're getting a business started, you're not thinking about SEO because you're thinking about getting revenue in the pipeline.
Thinking about sales, operations.
Right.
Yeah.
You're thinking about those different things, and sometimes that's all businesses rely on. You see some businesses, their websites are really, really old, and you can tell that they haven't been updated in a long time. And if their business is running that way and they don't see a problem with it, like, I'm not going to tell them any different, you know. But if you're launching a new company, you want to develop something, and in the future you want to use SEO because you've heard it's really great, you've heard it's really powerful. You want to get kind of ahead on it because it does take time sometimes. You know,
well, don't leave people in the dark like that. Is SEO powerful?
Oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
Why do you think like so many companies spend on it?
Yeah.
It's like a huge channel. You know, there's companies that spend a lot of time, energy, effort into their SEO programs.
Entire departments around it.
Entire departments around SEO, content, engineering. They do that because it's fruitful. You know, they wouldn't do it if it wasn't attributing to their revenue. Mm-hmm. So if you think about it like that, then yeah, it's definitely powerful. It kind of depends where your business priorities are and how your business functions, you know? So, yeah.
So the last question I had as kind of a closing thing for you was, you know, what is the biggest opportunity? We're in December now. It's what's the day? December 5th? So not midway yet, but we're early December. Looking at 2026. What's the biggest opportunity for SEO in 2026? Like, what should people be thinking about right now? Is it AI?
Yes and no.
Okay.
It's definitely AI definitely needs to kind of roll in to your strategy for 2026, especially like the earlier you can get into learning and testing and using AI research to improve your visibility, not just on your website, but all of your digital marketing channels. Mm-hmm. Like the sooner you can start learning that, the better you can get ahead of, you know, your comp set in that channel. So as people start to change their behavior and use AI tools more and more, well, you're already there, you know? So yes, getting in on your AI visibility, but also if you don't have an SEO plan, you don't have an SEO strategy, that's what you need to be focusing on, especially like a foundational SEO strategy, because when you have that foundational SEO done, then you can really start to experiment and see what else is out there. You know, what new things that you can do to kind of get your own visibility in, you know, the ecosystem. So
makes sense.
Yeah, like if you don't have some sort of like strategic foundation, it's time, you know, it's time to be
2026 is time.
2026 is your year to do that.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming on and doing this.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for my coffee.
Of course. No problem at all. Thanks to Conjure for making it. But leave people with something from you. Like where can people find you? What's, you know, how do they get a hold of you? What are they reaching out to you for? Give me the final bit.
Okay. So I would suggest, if you are interested, to hit up my website. It's socialhart.com. Hart is HART.com.
Cute.
And then my newsletter, thank you. My newsletter is socialhart.com/newsletter. I share a lot of information in my newsletter, anywhere from news that's going on or like tactical things, practical things that you can do. So I'd recommend getting on that stat. And then I am on LinkedIn. I am on Instagram at Social Hart. And so you can find me on there and chit chat away with me. Right now.
But you help businesses at all levels, right? Like you'll help with foundational SEO, you'll help with.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
And I do sort of help in terms of like, are we a good fit or not? And if not, like, let's figure out what you need to do to get to where we can work together. So I'll do like an audit, and then I do monthly SEO as well. And that's really fun. And we get to grow websites. It's super fun. So yeah, you can just, either send me an email or get on my website. My email is crystal@socialhart.com.
Awesome. Thank you for coming on. Good closing out. But first, I do want to remind people that this room is available for rent if you want to do your own podcast. We're right here in the middle of Electric Works. It's a beautiful space. We love it. Tell people you love it.
It is beautiful.
Okay.
Yes, I love it. No, I do love it.
Okay.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, thanks for watching.
Thank you.